Guys, you're welcome to my channel. This is Inside Real Estate, and I'm your host, Lekon. Today, I want to talk to you about regulating the real estate sector or real estate industry, and in particular, speaking about commissions and agency fees. It is no secret that within Lagos State, there has been uproar by the citizens complaining that the burdens are too much, and real estate agents have been vilified as the bad eggs. They are the ones who are extorting them. They are the ones who are making things and life difficult for them. Now, the state government has decided to intervene and is holding various meetings with different stakeholders within that industry. And I've seen a lot of people look down on real estate agents. Now, I'm an advocate for my own profession. I'm speaking with that regard, okay, as an agent in this video. So when it comes to commissions, there are places where the sharing formula is properly defined. But I want us to also look at it in as much as you are making regulations about one thing, how many years you can collect as rent and so on and so forth. You should also make regulations that benefit those practicing within the industry. I'm not against regulation. I support it 100% so that it can sanitize and put some form of sanity within that industry. But where I have an issue is whereby everyone is vilifying real estate agents, even if they are bad eggs within the industry. Not every agent is a bad egg. Now, in the medical profession, sorry, I have to use them because I know that medical practitioners are held to the highest degree of standards. I want to use them as an example, not that I have any bias towards them. Okay. Now, in the medical profession, there are those who practice with unruly means and methods, and they are called quacks. So also in the real estate profession, we have those who we call quacks. Now, because it's not as regulated as other industries, every Tom, Dick, and Harry just comes in and claims to be an agent, and that shouldn't be the case. Please follow my train of thought. That shouldn't be the case. There should be systems in place. That is why we say join this association, join that body, join this body, partner with that body, go to school and learn this thing, so that at least we can trace your origins and your roots to the profession itself. Now, having said that, I want to draw our attention to the practice that is obtainable currently within the sector as regards the agency fee and how it is being distributed. So, in transactions, be it sales or rental transactions, once money exchanges hands, there is definitely going to be a fee paid to the agent or agents involved in that transaction as their settlement for service rendered. Now, for those of us who do not like to pay agency fees to agents, you have a problem because the agent has rendered a service. It is your duty or responsibility to pay them and settle them for that service that has been rendered. You can't go and meet a mechanic to help you do something and you begin to tell him stories. So when it comes to agency fees, sales transaction is much more defined, but in the rental part is where the problem is. Now, in the sales part, the seller has his agent, the buyer has his agent. And when the deal is closed, the seller settles his agent's commissions or fees, and then the buyer settles his agent's commissions fees. It's very straightforward when it comes to sales transactions. So whatever percentages that are discussed shouldn't be more than 10%, but there are many times, most times in Nigeria, you see people paying 5%, paying 2.5%. Some don't even pay by percentage, they just pay amounts, be it buyer or seller. When it comes to the rental transactions, yes, it is defined, but there is no balance to it. When people are complaining that the burden, the agents and the landlords are increasing this and increasing that, it's because the burden is much on them. And I call on the regulators to look at this critically before passing out laws and judgments and cancelling this and cancelling that. Whereas the sales has seller taking care of his agent, buyer taking care of his agent, under rentals, the buyer is the one who takes care of both the landlord's agent and his own agents. And I feel that is unjust, And that is a form of inequality, because the landlord is also benefiting from the same agency service. So just like it is done in sales transactions, the landlord also should be made to pay agency fee from the amount he's collecting as his rent. I want to suggest, it's just a suggestion. Please, these are my opinions on my channel. You can choose to agree with it and you can choose not to. That is totally up to you. But this is just my suggestion. The first one is that the landlord should pay his agent 10%. So you give somebody your property, help me put it out there, help me get somebody into it. You'll be responsible for paying him his 10% agency fee. So as the landlord is collecting his rent, 10% of that goes straight to his agent. Meanwhile, the person or the tenant renting that same property should take care of his agent. That is the first thing I see. Now, this brings balance. So 10% both ways. 10% to the agent of the landlord and 10% to the agent of the tenant. What is obtainable is that the client or the tenant or prospective tenant pays the 10%, and then the landlord's agent takes half as the mandate or as the direct agent in charge of that property, and then he gives the other half to the tenant's agent. Now, if there are multiple agents involved, the tenant's agents, all the multiples, share half. Meanwhile, the landlord's agent still goes with half. There is no justice as far as I'm concerned. There are times when it's even the other agents that do the most work, but the other one, just because he has access or links to the landlord, gets half. This should be looked into. Fine, landlord, pay your agent 10%. Tenants, pay the other agents 10%. That way there is equity. So if there are multiple agents involved, whatever they will be getting when they divide whatever the cost is amongst themselves equally will be something tangible, especially in an economy that is being tested in these times. The second thing I want to say is, if we are looking at it that the 10% is too much, then there should be a legislation that says the landlord should pay 5% agency and the tenant should pay the other 5% agency, combining everything and making it 10%. That way, and then when that 10% agency is paid, all the agents involved in that transaction will split it equally. There is no 50% going to one agent, 50% going to another. It's split or distributed equally. If there are 4 of them involved and the 10%, each person is getting what, 2.5% equally. If there are 3, then they get the equivalent. If there are 2, then they get the equivalent 50 at least, and it protects the agent's interests. The reason why some of these charges begin to come into the transactions and all that is because some agents' interests are not properly protected, and it makes it difficult to cope in an economy that is really distressed as that we are faced with right now. The third thing I want regulators to look into, and this is my own recommendation, is the fact that there should be a law that says not more than maybe 3 agents should be involved in a particular transaction when it comes to rents. So it reduces the number of unwanted risk and cheatings and all that within a transaction. So if I'm meeting you, it's either you are the person relating with the landlord or you are the person relating with the person relating to landlord and nothing more. So this makes us work more. It makes us go out there and either try to meet the landlords or meet the person relating with the landlord. Do you understand now? So when you are getting paid, you are getting paid for work you did. Some people just sit online, copy and paste the property, and then they are expecting half of whatever comes in. It shouldn't be like that. Then number 4, because you referred somebody to me, that doesn't make you an agent. You see people, it's only in this country, I just don't understand. It's only in this country where somebody refers a client. It's not his field. The person is probably a mechanic or even a bus driver or a doctor or something else entirely, a banker. And he refers somebody to you and he's still expecting. They have seen car salesmen refer people to me, and then they are expecting half of whatever the transaction brings. That shouldn't be so. It doesn't happen like that in other professions. Why should it happen in the real estate profession? So because someone brought somebody to a medical practitioner to take care of the person, does that mean that that person gets free medication for life? No. There should be balances to these things. So there should be a law that says if someone refers to you, they don't have a claim in equity. They could get a bonus if you are giving out a bonus or a referral payout or something, but not exactly sharing the same percentages as the agents who are practicing in it. There are times when people ask them, are you an agent? But what I am against, now, I'm not against giving bonuses. I give a lot of bonuses to people who refer to me, all right? But what I am against is you referring somebody and expecting equal stake in it. That it doesn't work. It shouldn't be. So there should be regulations to that. The government should look at this too. As we are listening to the cries of the citizens, listen to the cries of the real estate agents and practitioners as well. Okay? People who know people who refer people to agents should be taken care of, but not in the same percentage. Another thing I want the government to also look into, all right, is what is going to be the consequence or punishment for clients, or because now we have consequences for real estate agents, all right, and practitioners who default or who do something wrong. What about the consequences and punishment for clients who don't do something right? An agent takes you to see a property. You like the property. You fall in love with the property. Are you going to make payment now? You say, no, let me go and think about it. And then you go from behind boycotting that agent and then going to try to close the deal, or even some of them succeed in it and close the transaction directly with the landlord or the property owner or the seller behind the back. It has happened a lot to me in this profession, all right? What is going to be the consequence of such? If eventually I find out or the agent finds out that this is what has happened, check and balance that there should be a form of punishment as well for that client. You engaged his service. He took you to see the place. You love the place. You might have told him and you might not have told him, but somehow through him, you got to know the property. You now go behind and go and cut another deal, whether with another agent or directly with the owner or the caretaker, whoever is lawyer or whatever. So there should be a penalty or a consequence to such actions of clients who betray the interests of the real estate agent. Finally, I know the state government has spoken about lawyers not taking agency fees. But there has to be a defining balance in this, in whatever the government is doing, distinguishing between the role of the lawyers and the role of the estate agent or property manager. If you want to be a lawyer, be a lawyer. If you want to be a property manager, be the property manager. Don't cross the lines. Yes, I know it's because some lawyers really have access to these landlords because they handle most of their legal documents and matters. But that doesn't make you a real estate practitioner, as it were. So I want the government to look into these recommendations before coming out with a solution. If you love what I said or you like what I said and there are other things that you still feel can be done to make this work, please feel free to share them within the comment section and we'll look at it together. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you love the content you're getting here. I believe they are insightful and I believe they are helpful to helping you make informed decisions and helping you see what is obtainable within the real estate industry. Once again, thank you for your time. Bye for now.